Welcome to Pondicherry University Campus News Bulletin, Campus. The headlines. September 5th, the Teachers' Day is celebrated by felicitating the best 41 teachers from various departments of the university. Centenary celebrations of the Historical Society of Pondicherry were celebrated in the campus of Pondicherry University on 6th September 2011. 100 more bicycles were released for the benefit of students on the occasion of 64th Independence Day by the Vice Chancellor Professor J.A.K. Tharin. A 3-day workshop on documentary filmmaking was organized by the Center for Electronic Media. The Department of Applied Psychology organized a 2-day international conference on students' mental health issues and challenges. The Vice Chancellor Professor J.A.K. Tharin inaugurated an exclusive library and computer lab for the School of Management. Dr. Jagadish Arora, Director of Inflibinet, launched the National Library and Information Services infrastructure at Pondicherry University. The world will soon follow the Indian governance system in the future, said the former Reserve Bank Governor Dr. Y.V. Reddy. 29th August, the National Sports Day was celebrated in the Pondicherry University. Special bite, Padma Shri Professor J.A.K. Tharin, Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University. The news in detail. Destiny of India is now shaped in classrooms and teacher is the molder is the message shared in the Teachers' Day celebration of Pondicherry University. Pondicherry University celebrated Teachers' Day on September 5th, which was chaired by Professor M. Anandakrishnan, Chairman IIT Kanpur, who also presided over the function. In his keynote address, he said that the destiny of India is now shaped in classrooms and the teacher is the molder.
The university is a community in which the teachers are the core performers, but then they perform well only when they have a good leader on one side and good supportive ambience on the other side. But politicians using the university as a playground to insist on who should be admitted, what should be taught, how it should be taught, that is the most dangerous thing.
University was proud to honor the best 41 teachers of the university on this occasion. The number has increased by 15 comparing to the last year. Regarding this, Professor Ramdas, Dean of the School of Management, said that the best teachers were selected on the basis of regular assessment by the students.
Best teachers are selected by the students themselves. It is the students' assessment. It is the students' judgment. It is the students' evaluation that makes a teacher the best teacher.
Honorable Vice Chancellor also took this as an opportunity to propose the 12th plan.
This morning I got a mail from the QS ranking 2010-11 has come. No Indian university figures anywhere, any institute. Sir, just now the Cognizant Technologies, one company, has selected 402 candidates from this campus.
Indian Council of Historical Research, New Delhi, Department of History, Pondicherry University, Department of Tourism and Department of Art and Culture, Government of Pondicherry, and Alliance Francaise of Pondicherry jointly organized the centenary celebrations of one of the few oldest historical societies, the Historical Society of Pondicherry. The connection of the Pondicherry with the French was pointed out, and the history and evolution of the society were shared on this occasion. The Honorable Vice Chancellor J.A.K. Tharin released the book Twilight of the Past and a journal on history of Pondicherry on the eve of the celebrations. Pondicherry University celebrates the 64th Independence Day with great blith and in good spirits. The Vice Chancellor Professor J.A.K. Tharin hoisted the flag and wished the university. Pondicherry University celebrates the 64th Independence Day with great blith and good spirits. The Vice Chancellor Professor J.A.K. Tharin hoisted the flag and wished the university. Addressing the gathering, Professor Tharin talked about freedom and Indian culture and described Pondicherry University a mini India.
Freedom is not just democracy and freedom to speak. Freedom is a freedom given as to what to speak. Freedom is to get total freedom from ignorance. We need to eradicate illiteracy, ignorance. We need to eradicate intolerance. We take pride in our heterogeneity, demographic diversity, total plurality, 33 states, 1,600 languages spoken, different deities worshipped, different religions coexisting in harmony. Perhaps this is the only country in the whole world which can take pride in such great harmony. Prove to the world, we have proved to the world that we are an harmonious nation. And we want to prove again and again that every one of us believes in harmony.
In this context, he released the half-yearly magazine of the university, the Newsletter.
Newsletter, which symbolizes harmony at the campus. Perhaps you may not find such a campus, many campuses in the country. Look at the assortment and the heterogeneity from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Gujarat to West Bengal. Every Indian is here. It is a mini India by itself. That was my dream when I entered this university. I think that dream is coming true. You must have seen me going around the campus every morning in the car. You know why I go? Not inspecting, just to have a sight of you people. When I see my students walking around, that becomes my breakfast. That is how I enjoy. Friends, let us create a new India which will be an example to the entire country. Let this university be an example for entire country.
On this occasion, he also released 100 more new bicycles for the convenience of the students and gone back to his college days by riding a bicycle. A 3-day workshop from 20th to 22nd of July on documentary filmmaking was organized by the Center for Electronic Media. This workshop was facilitated by an eminent documentary filmmaker, Mr. R.R. Srinivasan. The Center for Electronic Media conducted a documentary film workshop in the last week of July 2011, taking this as an opportunity to educate the media students. Various kinds of documentary films of different genres were screened in the School of Management auditorium. Documentary filmmaker Mr. R.R. Srinivasan gave an introduction to documentary films.
If you want to make a film, you have to be very much interested in architecture, archaeology, okay, and also history, and also literature.
Students and teachers actively participated in the interactive sessions, which was held after screening of every documentary. This program also combines presentations by the students on documentary filmmakers. Department of Applied Psychology organizes a 2-day international conference on students' mental health issues and challenges. The main objective of the workshop is to orient the psychologists and the student counselors about the latest psychological methods in dealing with the children who experience psychological, physical and sexual abuse. This program was facilitated by Professor Barbara Bonner, who is a clinical child psychologist from USA, Professor Vikram Patel, who is from UK, and Professor Michael Dunne from Australia.
For developing psychologists to work in my field is particularly with children. We know that children have many problems as they grow up, as times are changing a great deal, and there is an enormous amount of pressure in India and other countries to perform well at school. So I'm delighted that psychologists in India are looking at that particular form of stress for children and conducting research and working with teachers and parents from whom a lot of the pressure comes to reduce that pressure and let children perform without the high level of stress that they have.
The other part of the workshop was about the new approaches for treating maltreated children and their families. Students from different schools participated and shared the views and opinions about the student mental health. Vice Chancellor J.A. Ketaren inaugurated library and computer lab for School of Management of Pondicherry University. Pondicherry University has given an additional option to the students to gain knowledge by inaugurating a new library for School of Management and Computer Labs for Commerce and International Business departments. Professor J.A.K. Tarin inaugurated the library, which has newly implemented services for both students and faculty. He also inaugurated the computer lab and delivered a speech on the need to have exclusive libraries for each school in the university. Director of Inflibnet launched N-List, extending access of e-resources to all the affiliated colleges of Pondicherry University. Dr. Jagdish Arora, Director of Inflibnet, launched the National Library and Information Services Infrastructure for Scholarly Content, shortly known as N-List. This N-List extends the access of e-resources at affiliated colleges also. While inaugurating the facility, Dr. Jagdish Arora explained how N-List works and how to purchase books using these resources.
This is the first gathering for N-List where so many people have come. So thanks a lot for wonderful response.
Vice Chancellor Professor J.A.K. Tarin encouraged the scholars and advised the students to make use of this e-resource. He also announced that the Pondicherry University would pay the annual subscription fee to all the colleges so that the facilities available at the university campus would also be available to every student who have been studying at the affiliated colleges too. Students Welfare Wing Pondicherry University has started a quiz society this August 1st, 2011 in the university campus. Students Welfare Wing has taken an initiative to start a quiz society inside the campus of Pondicherry University. The Director of Studies, Professor Ramadas, inaugurated this quiz society. The society includes 7 core committee members from different departments. The main motive of this quiz society is to get aware of the current scenario and gain general knowledge. More than 50 students registered with the quiz society and participated in the quiz program and won several prizes. And the coordinators informed the students the quiz competitions will be conducted every week with different themes. The students of Pondicherry University made a non-violent movement against the arrest of Anna Hazare by walking with a candle. They lighted the candle to kill darkness of corruption. Vande Mataram! Vande Mataram! Anna, tum संघर्ष करो, हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं. अन्ना, तुम संघर्ष करो, हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं. वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, भारत माता की जय. वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम. इनकलाब, इनकलाब. Former Reserve Bank Governor Dr. Y.V. Reddy delivered a special lecture on global crisis and financial crisis in India amidst the students of Department of Economics in Pondicherry University. Dr. Y.V. Reddy, former Governor of Reserve Bank of India, spoke about the global crisis and financial crisis while delivering a special lecture at the campus of Pondicherry University. He shared his views on the current growth of India in the financial and economic conditions and its relationship with the rest of the world. He said that Indians are saving interest by investing in India, and India is economically and financially powerful country.
The strength of India is achievement Darasa. And therefore, I said the world is not able to do that. The world will have to learn. Tomorrow, if there are world governance systems, they will have to learn from India how to manage things.
The Department of Food Science and Technology of our university celebrated National Nutrition Week during the first week of September. On the steps of nutrition lies emancipation of next generation. With this theme, the School of Life Sciences and Department of Food Science and Technology celebrated National Nutrition Week on September 5th and 6th. They conducted nutrition campaign in which all the routine body checkups like height and weight, cholesterol levels were made available to the students at Silver Jubilee campus in the university. A workshop on publishing content and research community is conducted on 17th August 2011 at the School of Management Auditorium, Pondicherry University. David Clark, Senior Vice President Elsevier France, delivered a lecture about the various techniques to get published, briefing about manuscripts, their types, the impact factors and additional metrics. He also taught how to identify audience for the research papers, choosing the light journal and the general structure of research articles. National Sports Day was celebrated on 29th August in the campus of Pondicherry University. National Sports Day on 29th August 2011 was organized by the Department of Physical Education of Pondicherry University. Teaching and non-teaching staff and students participated in the Open Mini Marathon. It marked the death of the great hockey player Dhyan Chand, who won the Gold Olympic medal 6 times and the Lifetime Achievement Awards in sports. The Vice Chancellor flagged the race in which the students participated. Plans to develop sports facilities in all the affiliated colleges by increasing the sports facilities and the intercollegiate competitions. Pondicherry University organized a meeting of directors of sports and physical education from all colleges of Pondicherry Union Territory, including Mahe, Yanam and Karaikal. The university has allotted Rs 5 lakhs to conduct new tournaments. The additional sports activities which the university is going to introduce was also explained in this meeting. Special Bites. The initiatives of the Indian government to enhance the quality of higher education across the country are laudable. In this context, what is worrisome is the fact that no Indian university has figured in the Shanghai QS World Ranking of Universities. To get an expert view and comments on the present trends and future opportunities of higher education in India, we spoke to Padma Shri Professor J.A.K. Taren, Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University. He is a great scholar and an able administrator with rich experience in higher education. He played a significant role in drafting the proposals for higher education in the 12th plan on behalf of the Government of India. In this interview, he proposes plans to infuse the Indian higher education with a new strength and character in order to make our educational institutions an abode of learning of international standards.
Let me at the outset welcome all my new students who have chosen Pondicherry University as their destination for higher learning, and let me also wish the senior students who have joined and enjoyed learning in this university, and I in particular welcome my students in electronic media and mass communication for the excellent work they have been doing. Now, the question you asked me about why Indian universities have not been able to figure anywhere into the world ranking system, particularly the QS Shanghai ranking, which was just announced last week, is a very good question. As a matter of fact, if someone takes this seriously, then there are a lot of issues we need to address in our higher education system. To my understanding, there are certain critical issues. Unless these issues are satisfied, there is no way we can go even near to any globally competitive university. What are these? Now, you need to compare the top ranking universities in the world and any of the universities in India. What emerges out very glaringly and conspicuously are 3 or 4 very important factors which we have ignored since independence. Number 1, the classical argument of quality against quantity is not valid. It's like fishing in a pond, you get small fishes and crabs, but if you fish in a huge place or in an ocean, you will get small fishes and crabs, but you have a chance of striking at a whale or a shark. That whale and a shark is an inventor, is a Nobel laureate. We have completely ignored that factor. All our universities are far, far below the critical mass. Let me give you some examples. If you take the top single campus universities of United States, the minimum strength they have on the campus is about 25,000 students to 40, and the highest number is about 45,000 students. Now, what is our strength? Our strength is such a large country of 1.3 billion has about 559 universities with a total population of about 2 million, which works out to hardly 3,500 students per university. Look at Pondicherry University. This university 4 years back had only 1,850 students. In 4 years, we increased it to 6,500 students, but even now we have not reached the critical mass. None of the Indian universities have the basic requirement of critical mass. Secondly, the huge campuses of the Indian universities are all underutilized. Any campus abroad with an area of about 500 to 600 acres of land will have a student population of 20 to 25,000. Here we have 300, 400 to 2,500 acres of land with hardly 3,500 students. We are absolutely conservative in increasing the number and looking ahead to compete with the world. This is one major factor. What is the second factor? The fragmentation of higher education into undergraduate education and the postgraduate education. Nowhere in the world we have this kind of a fragmentation. Either a college which is standalone offers its own degrees as an autonomous body, or it is a part of a university. In the Western countries, we have the single campus universities and multiple campus universities. If these multiple campus universities, the number may cross over 100,000 students. I am not talking of distance education, I am talking of the regular students. But then any student who enters an undergraduate program, either he enters into an autonomous college, which is a degree awarding college, almost like an university, or he enters the university itself. So, the undergraduation starts under the blessings and umbrella of a university, where a senior university professor teaches the undergraduate program. The ambience of a postgraduate campus, a university campus, is also available to an undergraduate student, the library, the infrastructure, the teaching faculty. So, therefore, you have an excellent training to a student over a period of time, where he finishes his undergraduation, gets into the graduate program we call as a postgraduate program, and then gets on to the PhD program. So, obviously, the quality of the student is far better here than in a fragmented system. So, we need to immediately switch over our, it has to be a major structural change in the country which has to come. There has to be an immediate change which makes the universities with possessing the critical mass of students, universities which have undergraduate program integrated with the postgraduate program. Then the question asked is, what do you do with the existing colleges? Affiliation to an university, some of the universities with huge number of colleges, both the colleges waste their time every year going around renewing affiliations, meeting the officers, you know the consequences of such controls, and then the university wastes its time on this. If all these colleges are allowed to a new model which I have proposed in the 12th 5-year plan, namely college clustered multiple campus universities, college cluster CC multiple campus universities, MCU. Now, these are a number of colleges ranging between 5 to 20 to 25 can be clustered into an university. They are not affiliated colleges, but they are a part of the university. So, this university is a multi-campus university. It has its own system and the university system and the education system and its own vice chancellor. There is a freedom for them to evolve, there is a freedom for them to be innovating, come out with new programs, increase their postgraduate and undergraduate. And this will have a advantage of sharing the resources, sharing the faculty and sharing everything. Now, this is
another thing how we have to address. Teachers and students are not in a position to move from one university to another university, let alone teachers and students coming from overseas. So, we need to understand that isolation breeds degeneration, interaction promotes evolution and innovation. Unless we completely allow mobility of students and teachers between the universities, between industry and university, and open up our universities for appointment of faculty from overseas on contracts 1 or 2 years. Professors and scientists from overseas, foreign countries should come and work here. Without this interaction, I am afraid a quality teaching and quality research is far from a dream. These are the 3 very important parameters, but there are other parameters, namely accreditation. The type of accreditation which we have, called the university accreditation, is in error, because you accredit a university, give a grading, which means that you have accredited as a body. It is of no consequence to 3 people who are the stakeholders. Who are the 3 people who are for stakeholders? Number 1, student is a stakeholder, the employer is a stakeholder, and then the funding agency is a stakeholder. None of them know as to which is the discipline which deserves A grade in that university. It may so happen that some departments may deserve A grade, some may not deserve even C grade. So, in the garb of a complete single A grade, many of the non-performing departments also enjoy, and a student is not in a position to choose the right department for his career, because he goes with the rating. So, discipline wise rating and accreditation is very important. This is another factor, and a few other things which are very important are an excellent information access system, and finally, an excellent research facility, a research facility which is globally competitive. But I must tell you, all this will happen if there is an ambience. With all these things, the university should have an ambience. There is a physical appearance which also has a psychological effect. A physical appearance has a psychological effect. The ambience is should be so conducive that it should become irresistible for a student and a teacher. It should become irresistible for a student and a teacher to do good work, good teaching and good process. These are the factors. So, now this is the reason why our universities do not figure globally, unless we address the question of critical mass, unless we address the question of fragmentation and abolish the affiliation system and create universities. And my own estimate is about 1,000 universities can be created in the country in the 12th plan if there is a will, by clustering totally 31,000 colleges. The country has got about 31,000 colleges with a student population of about 15 million, and the average comes to about 490. How sad! But 490 students in a college, does it make a college? It does not make a college. So, these are the basic things which are required to take our universities to global level. Thank you.
That's all for this edition of Campus. Join us for another interesting edition of Campus very soon. Take care. Until then, bye from Sriram.